Hi there, Andy here from Vader Video, also the author of Shut Up and Shoot and Make Lightning Strike Twice, which you can find on my stockmediaartist.com website. I'm going to do something I don't normally do, but I found this to be such a cool product that I had better do this to keep you guys apprised of really cool stuff. That's part of my job. This product is called the Syrp Genie, S-Y-R-P, Genie, like genie in a bottle. And it's really a cool product. I discovered this several months ago, and I Googled time-lapse devices, time-lapse motors, that kind of thing. And I found this Kickstarter program. Unfortunately, it was already finished and they had raised more than they ever wanted to, which was great, which means it was a very successful campaign. They created this device, which is, in my opinion, probably one of the most universal devices out there in regards to helping you shoot time-lapse and using devices you may already own to drive your camera, which is really cool. Most of the products out there are proprietary. You have to use their micro dollies, you have to use their equipment, and it gets really expensive really quick. This device doesn't care. It'll go on anything, and this is going to be really cool. So anyways, Kickstarter, very successful. They put this packaging together that has a really cool little message on it that says thanks, and then in small print all the names of people that contributed on Kickstarter. So I'm just going to pull this out of its package sleeve here, put that aside, and here we go, the Genie. So I'm going to open this up, and maybe there will be a genie that pops out and grants me 3 wishes. No? Okay. All right. Here we go. Move that box top. There's some paperwork in here. Although these are not the instruction, this is not the instruction manual by any means. It is basically just the required stuff that they have to put in that has to do with safety because it's a lithium battery, blah, blah, blah. And of course the thank you, thanks for purchasing a Genie, blah, blah, blah. So we'll put that aside for right now. This is just block packaging. And here we have the Syrp Genie. And it comes with several parts. So there's the master unit itself. Good looking, awesome. There is an attachment for it, which we'll get into in a couple of seconds here. Then we have the universal adapters, if you will. This is basically just a couple of metal plates with Velcro straps, fully adjustable, that will fit on basically any micro dolly. So you put one on each end, and then it uses this, what I call a lateral winch mechanism, and you put the little rope ends into these little slots. It's really cool. I mean, very simple to use. And then, of course, last but not least, we have the power plug adapter charger. But what's really cool about this company really thought things out. They give you all the different types of power connectors worldwide under the assumption that you may travel. Yeah, who knows? You might you may go to Europe here, and then they have these little round double plugs. So it's really easy. You just push this little button, pop this off, and then put on a different adapter. Boom, done. I mean, this is really cool. They thought about this. It's not like they nickel and dime you to death for little bits and pieces that you might need. It's just really well thought out. And I love products that are really well thought out. I love products that I know how to use and that are childproof for children like myself. In any case, so here is the Genie again, and right now it's got the standard head attachment on it. And what that means is basically you've got this attachment that would go straight onto a tripod, and they've taken into consideration 2 different sizes. They got the 3/8 and of course the 1/4 20. And I was thinking about that for a little while, and I'm going like, why would they put those off center, or the 1/4 20 off center? And then it came to me, I said, well, it doesn't matter if you're on a micro dolly and you're doing this kind of motion, it doesn't matter if this is a little forward or backward. So the other possibility could be with some of the tripod heads, particularly video heads, you have a large plate that can move back and forth as well, so you could center it that way. And that's, of course, for the 1/4-20. The 3/8 is definitely on center, so no worries. So that's one attachment, and really clean unit, square. It's small. It's a little bit heavy, but that's okay. There's a lot of stuff going on in here. And then, of course, you got your different connectors here, and this connector for the camera is really important. That's pretty much straightforward. You have to order additionally the Syrp link cable that's going to go to your camera. So that comes separately, about 20 bucks or so, and that plugs right into this first connector here where it goes off to the camera, and that becomes your camera controller for time-lapse. Now what's really cool is they have a USB port here as well, and there's many things that can be done with a USB port. But one of the more important things is this is also the port that's used to do firmware upgrades. And from what I understand, there's one coming very soon that is going to not only have time-lapse programming, which it already has, to drive your camera step by step, shoot, step, shoot, step, shoot, or rotate, shoot, rotate, shoot, rotate, shoot, or you can do full smooth video in circular motion or lateral motion. It has all these different modes. But what's really cool for time-lapse is they're going to introduce bulb ramping. And bulb ramping is kind of interesting, particularly if you're shooting in, you know, at dusk and into the day or into the night. And you know, your lighting is going to change. So there's other methods to take care or take into consideration those changes, but with bulb ramping, it kind of does it in one shot. So it's very cool. Anyway, so this goes off to the camera. I happen to have the one that goes for the Rebel series from Canon, T2i, 3i, 4i, etc. 5i, yeah, we all know about that one. And really neat. So very cool. Here's your control buttons so that you can drive through their menuing system. It even has a little water level right at the top so you can see if it's level. It's straightforward, man. This is where you plug in your power. And then, of course, on top, they have a nice little protected thread here. It's 3/8, and that's where you would mount your head. So, really nice, well packaged, nice, clean system. Now, to change out the base, it's really simple. I just pull this lock right off. And to put the new base on, I just basically snap it on, and it's done. So really, really simple, very easy to use. It's just this little mechanism here. You put your finger and pull it, and boom, voila. So that's how this thing works. And this thing already fired up on me. I just turned it off because there's a little button here that says on off. Actually, it's the little symbol. But one of the things that's really important right off the bat, everybody that gets one of these has a temptation to start turning this gear wheel right here. And it's highly recommended not to do so, nor to try to force this when any of these attachments are on, because basically there is a lot of little gear works inside this box, and if you force it, chances are you're going to break some teeth on those gears, and then the unit becomes pretty much worthless. So never force or try to forcefully turn the gears. And I'm not talking from experience. This is just common sense. There's many different pieces of machinery out there that function with all kinds of translation gears and things, and you never want to force. Because if you think about it, this has to do micro little steps. So there's a lot of little micro gears in there. So for that time lapse that you're going to shoot, depending on the distance and how many shots and so on, it might just do little teeny incremental steps. And to do that, to accomplish that, you got to have pretty elaborate gear mechanisms to do that. So don't force it. Use the controls once it's mounted. We're going to get into that in more detail in the next couple of videos. But like I said, this is just the coolest product. It's universal. It's something that I really look forward to getting. Particularly, we got the monsoon season coming up. I hope to get some really fantastic weather, nature fury shots, and of course a lot of time lapse, night skies, things of that sort. All can be done with this. Of course, this unit does require some additional components that you're going to have to get. One in particular is a head of some sort, and you could put a small video head on here. I particularly found that the easiest thing would be a nice ball head, and again, on my quest, I found this really cool company called Vanguard, and they make some really gorgeous products and at a great price. I just got a really cool tripod from them, really solidly built, but this ball head is absolutely amazing for the price. Not only is it a plate-based head, so that I can immediately pull the camera off and very easily, just like a video camera type of head, but they actually, excuse me, they gave me 2 of these plates, which is absolutely phenomenal, because here, living in a desert, the last thing I want to do is, especially if it's windy, is change lenses on the cameras, because I don't want the sensor to get dusty. So instead of changing lenses on cameras, and I have 2 cameras and they're the same, I can just unplug and plug and play, and so I can change out cameras with 2 different lenses, and that makes a lot more sense to me. It's a lot faster, it's a lot easier, and I don't have to worry about dust and all that stuff. There are, of course, other things that I need to worry about, and there's other things that I've done to the cameras in regards to protecting them from dust. I'm one of those people that likes to spend more money on glass as opposed to camera bodies, so I'm still shooting with some T2Is, and there are some good products, and I might talk about those a little bit later, that protect the entire case and seal it from dust. In any case, back to this Vanguard head. It comes with a little tool so that you can remove this insert, which is really, really cool. Again, a company that thought things out. They give you the insert so that you have 3/8 or 1/4 inch 20 thread female. The other cool thing about this particular head is you have an adjustment here to adjust the friction as you're moving the camera of the ball. And then, of course, here's the tighten down, so once you've got the final position, you're locked in. So this is a really elaborate ball head. Then we have another knob here that loosens up, and this bottom which would be locked down, so the head actually rotates on top of this bottom plate, and it has a full 360-degree turning capability as well. So really, it's far more than just a ball head. And I love companies that really think things through and put stuff together and give you extra parts, which is unbelievable. So here we have 2 companies, Vanguard, Syrp. These 2 are going to go together. That's going to mount on top of here, and that's probably going to be on there for quite a while, unless I decide to put a video head on there if I do video shots. And that's the cool thing. This product can do both. It can do a full lateral move, smooth, move your camera beautifully on any micro dolly or even a skateboard. And we'll get into that. I'm even going to use it on a jib to make an up and down smooth motion. There's all kinds of things you can do with this. It's very universal, very cool. And then along with this head, can't go wrong. But both of these companies really don't hesitate to give you everything you could possibly need, and that is really cool. I appreciate it when a company thinks things through and brings you the parts and components that you can use. Boy, you know, it's inspiring me to travel internationally again. Everything right there. It'll fit in your camera bag. It's not super heavy, but man, functional. And I love that. And I wanted to share this with all you new shooters your new stock media artists as well as old, because tools like this are just absolutely necessary if you want to bring up that production value. And in today's day and age, it's all about production value. So get those shots. Come back, check out the next video. I'm going to talk a little more detail about how you set this guy up. I'm going to show a couple of different examples. I'm going to get a little closer and close-ups on the unit itself, and we'll go through some of the menus. This is fun. This is fun. This is a blast. Hey, thanks for watching. See you in a few.